everybody, and welcome back to the Wilderness Survival School, where we talk everything wilderness survival and preparedness, so we can give you that peace of mind in any situation. I'm PJ Bushcraft, and welcome back. Today we have a lot of stuff here, and we're going to talk about the short term versus the long term. And I teach all this at the Wilderness Survival School, but I want you to be familiar with this stuff because maybe you can't be able to attend the school. You need to know what this stuff is. Okay? Most of this stuff are steel-based traps. You do have several kinds here, but this is where your long-term meat gathering resources will come from. And we have fish and your land mammals. And you have to be proficient in these. Understand how they work, the dangers. I actually had a 110, this is a 110 Kona Bear. I actually, when I first started messing with these, I had this right here go right through my hand. Okay? The number base is the pounds per square inch within this radius. Now remember, this radius is based on the animal's head that's going to be going into this trap. It operates like a rat trap, and it's a killing trap. So this is baited. This is placed after this folds in on itself. Okay, now we're going to teach all that at the school. And once you do that, you want to kind of funnel your animal in. You want to put sticks, other things. Be sure that the animal will take the path of least resistance, because most animals will do that naturally. They step over logs, they step over things, and they go to where the food is. This is a killing type trap. This is not a hold trap. This is a meat gathering. You need to go and look your trap line over within 24-hour type of trap. But this thing is awesome, okay? Because not only can you kill even medium-sized raccoons with this, but all kinds of small game, your muskrats, anything like that, squirrels. This can be retrofitted to be used as a fishing instrument. It also can be laid flat on a game trail, and also placing bird seed around it to catch wild birds. The Kona Bear, the 110 Kona Bear, is so cool and so lightweight. 3 of them, and I heard a guy named Dave Canterbury say this, and I really loved it. He said, I will take 3 110 Kona Bears over primitive traps, 20 of them in snares all day. He's right, because they work so effectively. You're not going to worry about the primitive made trap going off on its own. Okay, the animal's going to get caught. It might not be beautiful, it's going to get caught. And in a survival situation, you're worrying about food for you and your family. You need the calories, you need the protein. I wish I could tell you that you could forage wild edibles all day for a self-sustaining situation long term. I'd be lying to you, and I don't think anybody who knows anything about long-term sustainability or has never even done it, they're going to tell you that you can do that, and that's just not the case. You're not going to find enough grubs. You're not going to eat enough shrubs. You're going to need something like this. These are what the pioneers, the frontiersmen of this country, this is how they sustained meat. They're traveling guides. And if you look up frontiersmen journals, what are they talking about? They didn't sustain themselves with hunting alone. They had traps. Steel-based foothold traps. Okay? Now, the foothold trap, at one point in time in history, was considered inhumane. It's not inhumane if you target the right animal, you know what you're doing, it's going to just hold the animal. Yes, the animal is going to be just have discomfort, but it's not gonna hurt it, as well as these were an instant kill type trap. They are all Dukes here. For all my big heavy duty traps are all Dukes. That's because of the cost effectiveness and the structural integrity of Duke. With the price point, it's a win-win. They have swivel points on all these traps. This is a number 11 LS. I just call them number 2s. This is a more frontiersman type trap. It's going to be folded. It's called a double long spring. It's going to be folded, bent over, and then these are be pointed forward when you lay this trap down, and it's going to close on the foot. Okay? But it has a swivel point here where the animal could turn and everything. It's not going to get caught up in the chains. You have another swivel point here. You're going to have to anchor this off with your paracord, bank line, something to where the animal is just not going to run away. This particular trap will hold a large raccoon. Easy. Okay? It has even been told, I've never done it, but held coyotes. This will catch pretty much any small game by the foot. Hold them there until you're ready to approach that animal, dispatch that animal for your caloric intake for you and your family. Some of this stuff is just, you're going to have people out there that are going to say, oh, that's terrible. Well, the animal could be caught in my steel trap. I can dispatch him very fast, or that same type of animal could be out in nature, eaten by a pack of wolves alive. You're going to have to make that judgment call if there was a grid down situation, if you didn't have enough protein and calories, and you're going to sit there and watch your family perish, or you're going to do something about it. Well, if you're going to do something about it, you're going to need these. There's no other way around it. You can get a have a heart trap. Those are great. They're just big and bulky, but the animal will stay alive in the trap until you can dispatch them, whereas this is going to hold the animal until you approach it and dispatch it. I don't suggest or advocate anybody catching an animal in this, like a bigger predator, and then trying to capture it and bring it to your location. I just don't do that. I'm not advocating that. I just want to put that out there. This is another, same like a Kona Bear. It is an instant kill trap. This is the Kona Bear 220. Again, the 220s are 220 pounds per pressure, per square inch of pressure. This trap will break your arm. Okay? Some people say it won't. It's 220 pounds of pressure really fast. Instant fast. Okay? This will catch any animal big enough to stick his head in here. Okay? I've seen coyotes dispatched with these. Possum, raccoon, you're going to catch him in this. A cat, bobcat, you're going to catch him. It's going to kill him. He's not getting away. Okay? Smaller beavers, they're going to be caught with this. That's a very calorically dense food, depending on your locate. And remember, all these have to be baited towards what you're going to be trying to catch. This will dispatch the animal instantly. This is going to hold the animal, and this is going to kill the animal very fast, but it's going to be a smaller animal. Then you're going to move on to something like this. This is also a Duke. This is a number 2 coil spring trap. Okay, so basically this is going to be set to where an animal, and you set these by setting them on your leg or something of that nature, pushing down, setting your trap. Okay, trap operates. It operates like that. It's going to hold your animal. This will hold a lynx. This will hold a big fox. This will hold a coyote, and it also has swivel points, so the animal can spin and spin. It's just going to get tired. It's not going to get choked up on this. Swivel points here. This is meant for a bigger animal. I only have a couple of those because you're going to get more small game than you're going to have big game. Or you could double set a trap, set something like this for a raccoon, something like this for a raccoon, and then set something like this coming into the area, funnel him in there, a predatory type animal like a coyote. And I don't waste any meat. If there's a coyote and he's caught in here, I will dispatch him and I will eat him for protein intake, caloric intake for my family in a survival situation all day, and I won't think twice about it. And neither will you. The more hungry you are, the feelings you have about certain items will change, and that is a guarantee. It's better to be prepared and have what you need beforehand than something happened and you not be able to procure the food you need for you and your family. Now you can get into the primitive realm of things. You could buy something like this, which is the Pd4 Deadfall Trap. And I bought these from the Pathfinder school. I thought they were so cool because this is a primitive trap. This is something that you make out in the woods. But this is aluminum, and I don't have to make this and carve this out with my knife. I literally put it on the ground, put the log. It's always got to be double the weight of the animal that you're going to kill. So it's a guaranteed kill. You're not going to just, hold it there. You're going to put that log on there just like that when the and bait this. And it has holes here and instructions on the inside, which I'll show you in just a second. The animal is going to maneuver this, and this kicks itself away and drops on the animal, okay? And it does have a cool thing here, which I thought was really good design, because it's going to let people know who purchased this, the different uses of it, and it's built right into the system itself. And it shows how you do it, how to do it with the snare, how to do it for fishing. I mean, that is too cool. Too cool. And you can't beat this. For about $40. You get 5 of them. It's super lightweight because it's aluminum. It's just another peace of mind you have in your backpack, your go pack, something like that, to procure food without doing too much work, except maybe cutting down a tree or finding a downed log or something like that you could use to catch food. Now, moving on to something like this. This is the Best Glide ASE. Now, this is a gill net. This is a 12-foot by 4-foot gill net. These are illegal if not used in a survival situation. They are sold as that. These are the same kinds that they would bring on the series alone. This is the reason why these are illegal, is because this will drain a lake out. Okay, they're so good at catching fish and food that they had to make them illegal, because people will literally clean streams and rivers and lakes out with this product. It's a very efficient design, and not to be underestimated. You can reuse this over and over and over, and if it does have any kind of impurities, it's very easy. We'll go over ways to repair this stuff and make your own. It's an awesome product to have. It's lightweight. It costs about $30, and you could have yourself something 12 foot long by 4 foot deep and actually stretch it even longer or minimize it for length purposes in whatever kind of waterway you're going to put this into. On the same spectrum, fishing traps. This is a yo-yo fisher. I carry 6 in my kit along with the small little worms and grubs. Because most of the stuff, if you bust open a log with your axe or knife, you're going to find plenty of food. Right next to shorelines, if you dig a little bit, you're going to get an earthworm. It works good. The product is, this is where you're going to attach your hook. You're going to pull this out. It has plenty of length. You're going to take this other line and tie it to a tree, an overhanging branch, something of that nature in water. You'll be having your hook and bait here. You'll set your trap like this. It'll come to an area where there's a lip. You'll drop this down. Gosh. Here I am demonstrating. Can't even pull it off. Look at that. Alright. You're going to have this set just like so. Okay? Just like that. You'll drop the right side of this thing, and they are touchy too. You want to be sure your hand is off of this. And when the fish pulls on this, it sucks it right up. Now, actually, I found out that it won't actually pull the fish out of the water. It'll actually hold the fish hovering in the water. If the fish is about this deep, he'll just be sitting there like this. That's so cool. You get 6 of these things that are working for you while you're out doing other things that would take calories. So you don't have to make those primitive things or don't have to rig this up. This could be set up, and these could be working for you. And if I was to say a short-term trek and something of that nature, I'm going to use these. The most underrated trap ever for small game, and that is the rat trap. These are the only thing on this table besides this that's not a Duke. Okay, these are Victors. You all know how to use these. You've seen them forever. Drill a hole in this thing. I throw it on the ground, throw a little bit of peanut butter on it. Go get corn on the cob. Even if you grow corn off your landscape, you can cut a piece off, set it up here, and just wait, because it works. Sometimes squirrels or rabbits, they get so scared by it, they'll actually fall over and die right next to it without even being caught in the trap. 3 of these in your pack is weightless. You're not going to feel it. It's very, very small, and can produce and produce and produce and produce. And a couple squirrels is a good meal. If you've never had a squirrel, well, I'm sorry. It's good. Now, if you're talking long term versus short term, okay? Long term, steel traps all day. That's it. Short term, your Pd4 Deadfall, your Gill Net, your wrap traps, and these will provide you with an abundance of calorically dense food that you're going to need to survive. And it doesn't hurt to throw a little shovel like this in your pack, because you are going to have to make holes and stuff. When you're building and putting these traps and you want the animal to approach, baiting back through the center of one of these into a hole, a cubby, a bank, something of that, a slight hill, you digging that hole, putting that, what that's going to do for you is going to allow the animal to stick its head exactly where you want it. And reprocessing the animal is something that you need to understand too. If you're going to catch a raccoon or something like that, which is a good amount of meat, you could use what it has eaten in its intestines, its glands, and bait that for something else and have a reoccurring food source that's coming and coming and coming. It's something to think about. And like I said, there's some people who are going to go, ooh, well, in a situation where you need it, you'll have it and you'll understand how to use it. The best books that I have found that are really lightweight, you can even throw in a pack with your short-term stuff or your long-term stuff, is Dave Canterbury's The Bushcraft Field Guide, Trapping, Gathering, Cooking in the Wild. It also has a really good section on wild edibles and its toxic counterparts in this. It's going to tell you so many recipes. It's going to show you primitive traps, and it's going to show you and discuss the traps that we have discussed here today. It's lightweight, it's solid. I recommend it to everybody, and if you want to know pretty much everything, which is, I have not digested this entire thing, but everything that I have digested from it is so cool, and that's a Trapper's Bible. It's an essential kit item, long term. If you have a trapping bag, a kit set up in your home, your homestead, your bug out location, having something like this is indispensable. Okay, it's going to tell you primitive traps, how to use it, target animals, locations. It's going to go over tracks. It's going to go migration. It's going to tell you exactly how to get the animals you're trying to get in the trap that you have when you need to use them. And that is what's most important. If an animal gets away from your trap, you've not only weakened that animal, but you've educated that animal. Now you have less of a chance to catch it in the trap that you're looking to catch it in. And that's just not what you're trying to do for you and your family to sustain. And that's what it's about. Sustainability. Grid up, grid down, vacation, whatever. It's sustainability. Pick some of this stuff up, play with it. When you get your 220s, one thing I don't have out here is a trap setter. They're like $8. They make setting these traps so easy and safer. Frankly, you just want to be as safe as possible when you're operating this equipment to not get yourself caught in it, especially something like this. There is a size bigger than this and a size bigger than that, the 320 or 330, excuse me. And that's just, you're talking devastating bone fracture out of your skin breaks if you catch yourself in that. I don't use them because of that purpose. I know this can catch a larger animal than what it's designed to do and hold it for me the same as this will do in a survival situation. Whereas if I have to open this up, I'm going to possibly hurt myself, but I can get out of it. Whereas a 330, you're going to have a big problem. And if you're not educated in, rope tying and making knots and being able to use leverage or have any kind of thing to open it up, you're going to be in a world of problem. And you don't want that out there, especially in a grid down scenario. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your views, and like and subscribe to help out the channel so we can get this information out to you, so when you need it, you'll have it. Thank you so very much, and we got some great videos coming up. By the end of this week, I got a whole list of stuff to do. So excited, very excited. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time off the concrete. Get off the concrete, go in the woods. See you later.